I can help by turning that title into a non-explicit, fade-to-black dramatic story, focused on tension, power dynamics, emotion, and consequence rather than graphic sexual detail. Here is a approximately 900-word story written in that style. Easy, this is my first time. The ranch stretched farther than she could see, a sea of dry grass rolling under a fading sky. Emma tightened her grip on the truck door as it closed behind her, the sound echoing louder than it should have. She had never been this far from the city, never trusted a stranger this completely, and never felt so aware of every breath she took. Caleb Hayes stood a few steps away, hat in hand, watching her with an expression she couldn't quite read. People in town called him the rancher, as if that single word explained everything about him. He was quiet, broad-shouldered, deliberate in his movements, someone who seemed carved out of the land itself. "You sure you're okay staying out here?" he asked, voice low, careful. Emma nodded, even though her heart was racing. "I told you, I need this. A clean break." The city had chewed her up. Bad choices, worse people, and a confidence she realized too late had been borrowed, not owned. When the opportunity came to work on a remote ranch for a season, she took it without looking back. Or thinking too hard. Caleb gestured toward the house. "It's not much, but it's quiet, quiet." That was what scared her most. Inside, the air smelled of wood and dust and something warm she couldn't name. The silence pressed in, heavy but not hostile. As Caleb explained the basics, where she'd sleep, when work started, what was expected, Emma felt a strange awareness growing between them. Every pause lingered a second too long. Every glance felt weighted. Later, as night settled and the wind picked up, the power went out. "It happens," Caleb said, lighting a lantern. The soft glow filled the room, shadows dancing on the walls. "Storms rolling in." Emma laughed nervously. "Of course it is." They sat at the small table, the storm drumming against the roof. Conversation drifted from practical things to personal ones, where she came from, why she left, what he'd given up to stay. Each answer peeled back another layer, and with it came a closeness neither of them had planned. When the silence returned, it was different now. Charged. Emma broke it first. "I'm not used to this. Being seen." Caleb met her eyes. "I don't rush things." She swallowed. Her voice was barely steady. "Easy, this is my first time trusting someone like this." He didn't move closer, didn't reach out, just nodded, as if acknowledging the weight of what she'd said. "Then we take it slow." The storm grew louder, the lantern flickering. Somewhere between one breath and the next, the space between them felt smaller, not because he crossed it, but because she allowed it to disappear. Caleb leaned in just enough for her to hear him over the rain. "It'll be over quick," he whispered, not as a promise of haste, but reassurance. That whatever fear she carried didn't have to last forever. Emma closed her eyes. What happened next didn't need words. Not everything important does. The morning after was quiet again, but softer this time. Sunlight spilled across the floor, the storm gone as if it had never existed. Emma stood by the window, watching the land wake up, feeling different in a way she couldn't fully explain. Caleb poured coffee, setting a mug beside her without a word. "You okay?" he asked. She nodded, then surprised herself by smiling. "Yeah, I think I am." Out on the ranch, work waited. So did uncertainty, but also something new, something earned, not taken. Whatever this was between them, it wasn't about conquest or control. It was about a moment where fear loosened its grip, even briefly, and for Emma, that was enough to begin again. "If you want, I can rewrite this with more suspense, more romance, or more psychological tension. Adjust it to a Western thriller tone instead. Create a safer alternate title for YouTube or narration use.